I believe I am live. Hold on. I gotta get this in. Hello and welcome to North Kakalaki, where we are live on this Sunday night, 3/19/23. I hope everyone is well. I hope everyone watched. If you love baseball or like it at all, or casual fan, got to watch last night's USA game, and they are playing now. Looks like it's going to be another good game. uh, That's man is not feeling well tonight. Yes, Mike, USA, USA. I was going to mention you here in a minute. That's man is feeling under weather, had some treatments going on. Hey, Mike, do you want to hop on and we can talk about it? I have nothing else really going on. Nats man said he couldn't come on. Uh, right now, it's 3-1. Trey Turner hit another bomb. Uh, Wainwright is pitching okay. He's not going to win any Gold Gloves. He's misplayed one ball and then threw one way. Just lack pitching and fielding has really gone down a little bit over the last few. Not a lot of people bunt, so they don't have to field as much. But yeah, um, but yeah, fun series. Me and Mike talked about it last night. Uh, we're texting back and forth. I could text him to see if he was watching the game because it was just phenomenal watching it. And the people that think that nobody cares or whatever, yeah, maybe the common person or whatever really doesn't care about the tournament. But man, these people in the crowd care. The players care. This is huge. This is Olympic S. I'm loving it. I mean, these players are do or dying. It's just been awesome. And yeah, it's been a couple of injuries, and people want to sit there and go, "Oh, see, there's injuries," but those injuries could happen. I mean, Diaz could have got out the shower and that happened, and getting hit by a pitch. Guess what? That's part of the game. He could have been in a preseason game the same day, playing in Arizona or wherever Houston play. I don't know where they play at, Florida or Arizona, and he could have got hit by a pitch or a line drive or anything else. It's not a. They would have been playing. He still would have been playing the game, just somewhere else in a different uniform. Uh, it was just a bad situation. I felt bad. I know not a lot of people like Altuve. I'm indifferent about Altuve. Um, the cheating scandal. I think it's horrible. But then again, as soon as the commissioner said, if y'all keep it up, we'll do an inquiry on all the teams, and then everybody shut up. So I I don't think the Astros are uh, singled in that situation. Um, but Mike also let me know. So Araza, last year's batting champion, I think, or year before, and he came in second last. No, he came in first last year, just ahead of Judge, right? Uh, and got traded all season. Thank you very much by the Twins. But he hit 2 home runs in last night's game, and it looked like he was going to be the MVP of the game. Uh, and Mike, as soon as he sold it, Mike sent me a listing where he sold a Raza card because of the tournament. As soon as he hit the second one, Uh, all right, Mike. Let me send you something here. Uh, everybody, hold on 1 second. Yeah, so that was kind of funny. Me and Mike talking about that, uh, and we just me and Natsman talked about it the last 2 weeks. Kind of funny, just how that works. There you go, Mike. It's in our Facebook Messenger. Uh, and I got some other questions for you too, Mike. I had you on mind when I was looking up some things today, or some conversations we've had. Cubed hot dog. What's up, fellas? That's a new one. Welcome. I don't know if you've been here before, but welcome to my channel. A little bit of quieter night. My usual co-host is not feeling well, and I told him just be ready because next week, just to give y'all a heads up, we'll be doing a baseball preview, how the season's going to work, what players we're looking for to click in the divisions, and how I think how that's going to relate to the hobby. I think this series is going to relate a little bit to the hobby right now. Uh, it already has. Mike even talked about it to me last night. I'm going to. I lurk in the shadows, comment every once in a while. Okay. Hey, I'll take a cubed. Yeah, I like the name cubed hot dog. Is that the way your child likes to eat it, or is that the way you like to eat it as a kid, or like to eat it now? I love my hot dogs, man. Yeah, y'all can make fun of the tube meat all you want to, but I love a good hot dog with the right fixings. You can't spoil me with a good hot dog slaw. I know insert uh, Revolution podcast might get mad because hot dog is considered a sandwich, but good slaw, good chili, good mustard, good onion. You got me. You got me there. I call that my southern style, but I'm sure other people do it. Chicago can keep their pickle. I'll do like a good relish on it. Oh, we got Mike here.
What up?
Hey, Mike. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. Wasn't prepared for this, so we don't have we don't have studio lighting set up.
That's fine. Next week
we got some glares in the glasses.
Yeah.
I got stacks of team sets I'm getting ready to list.
Well, I'm glad you did come on because I got a couple of questions for you. I just happened to be looking because I was sitting here going, I haven't heard about any other cards coming out. Usually by now we've had Heritage. So I looked tonight to see the release dates. And next week we have, I think on the 22nd is Topps Gold. And then right after that on like the 27th, and that's 2022 Topps Gold.
Yeah, we're still living in last year.
And 2022 Stadium Club Chrome is coming out.
And then I think a week after that, Topps Chrome Platinum Anniversary from 2022.
Well, on the listing, it said to be determined in April.
Oh, I think they did move it to April. I think I did see something about that.
It still has, because that was my other one. They still had that one to be, but there is 123 release coming, and that's the one that's taking the place of opening day. It's coming out opening day weekend, not on opening day. It's coming out on the 31st, and that's the what was the other one? That's
Big League.
Big League. Yeah, it's coming out that weekend, which is not bad. Big League, they put in some short prints in it now. They actually not terrible photography. It's different from flagships. I like that. I mean, but are you gonna get any of the chrome or the? You're not a big gold guy, are you? You don't purchase
gold label.
Yeah, gold label.
I used to love. I love like 98 gold label.
Right,
the new iteration. I'm trying to think when they brought it back. It was 2016 or 17. I remember buying a box. I did. There's somewhere on my channel, if you go back and search, it's either 2016 or 2017. I broke a box. I broke a box with, I think, Ray from Philly at the Philly show, because it was like $50 or something, $50-$60. I don't remember exactly.
Right. Yeah.
The new gold label from the last 4 or 5 years, the autographs are awesome. They look really good. They're gold framed. The base cards, like, they look okay, but they just, when you have them in hand, to me, compared to the old gold label, they were just kind of chintzy and cheap. Right. The old gold label had the thicker stock, and like it was like crystal clear. This stuff was like a foily paper.
It didn't have. I don't like levels. I hate one checklist, and there's 3 levels to it. I hate those. I know other people like it. Panini does it. I just don't like it. Level 1, 2, or 3. And there's been years in gold label where I just couldn't even see the levels. I just gave up unless I got 2 of the same card and I could hold it side by side and somehow figure it out on Cardboard Connection or something. I just kind of, I don't like that. It's, to me, instead of making a 300 card set, you're making a 100 card checklist. And yeah, you're right, Victor. I'm with both of y'all. I really do like the old looking one. But I don't like that because I'm sure that's what it is, a 100 card checklist.
Yeah.
Robert just got hit on the leg. You Phillies guys got to be happy with Turner right now.
Yeah, just hopefully he, continues this April through October, But he's been playing well.
I hope they let him eat there in Philly in the first spot. He can probably be a 30-30 guy. He knows he's going to be 25-25, I would think. But 30-30 is not out of realm possibilities for him. But we'll talk more about that next week.
Man, 2 weeks in a row. That Big Scott 35 appearance contract, man. It's gonna be looking good, that check.
Yeah. Well, you better bring the talent. You got to bring it. But I was looking at that release, and there's not much else.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know what's going on. I officially announced product. I feel like obviously we had Series 1. We've got Big League like officially announced, and it's a couple weeks away, less than a couple, 9 days, probably, maybe closer to a week.
What Big League? 31st.
Yeah. Outside of that, like, I think there's an inception. There's only like a couple products officially announced. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff coming out, but
Blowout, they have nothing else for the month of April other than nothing your 2023 stuff. Just the 2022.
And Heritage used to always be out. You would get Series 1 early February, and then you would get Heritage usually by mid-March. Because I remember years ago doing TTMs, getting it out where you had like about 10 to 14 days left in spring training. And I remember just like shooting off a ton of them for TTM down to the spring training facilities.
Right.
But not this year.
Yeah, I haven't even heard anything of Heritage.
And typically I like Heritage. Like, I know it's fallen off in popularity for sure in recent years, and I think it's multiple reasons. I think one reason is the designs just they're not as distinguished in classic because they've obviously moved past the 50s and 60s at this point because it's been such a long release. That combined with the new age of collecting, even though we're maybe moving away from that new age collecting, but obviously there for a few years, it was all about the value. It's all about the hits. It's all about the big dollar cards, and Heritage is something for the set collectors, even player collectors and such. And it's one of those things, you buy a case of it, you got like 3 autographs, shit ton of variations and stuff like that, which some people like, some people don't. But it was.
See, I like variant cards.
If you that's the type of product. If you're breaking to resell it, like, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
There's no like, I mean, of course you could get a red autograph of a rookie that's $1,000, I guess.
Well, that's what I was gonna
so
say. They
few
got
and far
the red.
between.
Right. They got the
People
red.
people want the products where they're getting, you know, a lot of $300 cards and they throw the rest of the stuff out. I mean,
Right.
a lot of, I mean, I don't think it's something you hear about too much when discussed, but a lot of the new age, you know, flippers, you know, those types of individuals that really aren't associated with the hobby, like, are also, they're looking for the easy money, the quick money. We hear that they're exceptionally lazy with certain stuff and they're not willing, you know, to put in the work to learn about cards, learn about current day players, or you know, look into a product like that takes effort. But who knows what's happening with Heritage? It wasn't on their list of products to be cut, so I assume it's coming out, but maybe they think it's better to release more during the season. I don't know. They need to release more during the season. They got to get away from this releasing 75% of the checklist following the season. That's too much, you know.
Well, I mean, here's a thought from Amari, which is not terrible. I mean, you think Topps Chrome Anniversary replaces Heritage in the near future?
I mean, you never know. It seems like something they're going to continue at this point. But last year,
go ahead.
No, last year I kind of thought it would be a one-off product, but I also, in the back of my mind, was like, if it's successful, they'll continue doing it. There's an aspect of it I don't mind, and it's definitely a product I kind of like, but at the same time, it's like, how much of this stuff do we need? USA.
You're probably a little ahead, so don't tell me what's going on. I'm streaming. You're probably watching on TV.
Yeah, I got off to the side.
Pete
the Big Scott 35 investment.
Finally got a hit.
Well, he had that blue pit yesterday when they
the CNI
I was gonna send it in a group chat. I was gonna send a wise ass comment in a chat with a few of my fellow Philly fans with you attached to it, and just be like, look at this bum pinch hitting for Schwarber.
I'm in a chat with all you guys.
I know. I was gonna send something in it, but then I didn't, and then he had the blue
I
pit.
know how it is, because I wish y'all all luck last year in the World Series, but now it's dog pile on Scott. I'm glad I didn't get a lot of Edwin Diaz stuff in it.
It sucks because I think it's almost worse that it happened during a celebration.
Right.
Not even like on the field, but it's one of those things, like it is a freak accident. Of course, there's going to be a lot of people saying, oh, they shouldn't be celebrating. They shouldn't be playing the World Baseball. You know, there's going to be a million takes, and anything can happen at any time, but that's obviously a tough injury for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, it's a, like me to begin. I'm a baseball fan. I don't care what team they play for. If it's an arch rival, I want to see the best guys on the field. I don't want to see the minor leaguers. I can see a minor league ballpark right now. I can go see minor leaguers anytime I want to. I was just talking to my dad. I have single A through triple A within 45 minutes of me here. So I can go see any type of minor league ball. But they're always playing. It's not, those injuries can happen at any time. It's not because of the World Baseball Classic. So, but I just hope, like, they're so intense. This
I feel like there's going to be a letdown once the season begins.
Once the season begins, it's going to be like it's going to be this high and low, which, I guess, what do you do? I see more this year, I think, than the other years. I know the other years they've already loved doing it, but man, this year just seems like, I just think there's more talent on the other teams, so it's made it a lot more fun.
Even Cuba, like, they finally actually have major leaguers playing for them, stuff like that. I don't know. I think we talked about about it a little bit last night, and I know you had mentioned some of this, but I think this is a huge deal around the world. I think, unfortunately, America is very spoiled with the amount of sports we have,
Right.
all the professional leagues. And I know there's a lot going on, and it's, typically baseball season hasn't begun, but like you see some of the ratings, like the TV ratings in Japan and stuff, and you're like, whoa, that's like a huge deal. You see all some of like the town squares in different cities around the world all watching the game as if it's a World Series here. And then the passion, like you mentioned, of these players and how fired up they are. I think it's great for the game of baseball.
What, Japan, they had like over half the country was watching one of the games or something like that.
Yeah, it's like insane.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's right now we have March Madness going on. I mean, it's kind of hard to go against that with anything. Um, but I tell you, missing out on this as a casual fan, this could get anybody fired up for this. I seen more in the crowd, and I don't mean this to be slanderous in any way. Just what I've noticed is women really getting into it more than they would in a regular season. I mean, a regular season game, even I sit there on my hands because it's week 4 and we're of a 80-week season. But it's like everybody's really getting into this, and I think it's one team, that uniform, that whatever country it is, and to really get behind it. I've had a lot of people say something to me about my hat. I've been wearing my USA. I mean, this is a World Cup, World Classic baseball hat I've had for years now. And I think it's been great, been really great. Went to that card show yesterday, which I will talk a little bit on and let Mike make fun of me some more today about it. People are asking me about my hat yesterday, and I was the only one there that had it on, and had one on. So, and it's because they're not easy to find. I've been to Lids and several different hat stores and sports stores, and there is no World Baseball hats of any team or jerseys. I take that back. I saw a Mexico hat, and that was it. But I think that's because the Dash year has Hispanic Heritage Nights all through the year. So I think those Mexican hats are there all the time for the Mexican national team. So I don't think it had the logo on the back like this one does.
I don't know. I just think this is, baseball's in a good spot. I think a lot of people like to, I don't know, it's tough because clearly there's more competition for entertainment than there ever has been in human history. And we see that with everything. We see that just in terms of streaming and movies and television shows. Like TV is not watched as much as it was once upon a time. Right. Or radio. At one point, there were like 3 radio stations. So everyone in the country is listening to the same thing. Now there's so many choices between radio, television, music, streaming, all this, stuff, video games. Like everyone's fighting for attention. So that's just logically going to affect something like baseball. The NFL is clearly the most popular sport in this country, but it's also got a great system in terms of being 16 games, so it becomes an event week to week. But I think baseball is still pretty damn popular. It has changed. It's not maybe as much of a national sport. I think it's become a very localized sport. And if teams are really good, cities are going to perk up and pay a little more attention. But I still think, like, the Phillies have had really good television ratings and all that. It starts to peak last year. But I think it's like that, across the country a lot.
Well, I know it's regional. It because the you have good players on bad teams, so they don't get noticed as much. I.e., the guys on the Angels. the West Coast to me just gets very little love because they're not seen by the rest of the country as easily. Uh, but it's so many games, and they're being shown on your local whatever sports network you have, unless you have the national.
That sports network is paying a lot of money for those games
Right.
too. So
And
again,
that's
that's
why,
also because that's one of the few things people watch live now. They might watch
right,
that in the news. Everything else, people are watching DVR or streaming and
stream,
skipping through stuff.
right. Well, who was I was talking to? They said they could watch on the next day, and it shows you the whatever the payoff pitch of every at bat. The game for 30 minutes.
I know they
So,
do condensed games. You can usually watch that online.
on MLB.
I think so. I mean,
All
I
right.
don't.
I have Hulu, and I don't have MLB. I don't think.
Thankfully, as a longtime member of T-Mobile, I get MLB TV for free every year. So,
Oh, really?
and then in the past, I would have it free through different workplaces. So I've had MLB.TV for a very long time, and I've never once had to pay a dime for it. It's fantastic.
Well, it's not like MLB TV is not. I think I pay $124.
No, yeah, it's.
And I mean, you're like, oh my god! But
120, when you consider that's 162 games,
I
and you
watch
can watch more than
Mets games at least.
No, yeah, it's cheap entertainment considering it costs you, $75 to go to a game on a cheap day.
And I mean, and then I'll have it on. I have it on all the time. Like now, I have my volume down. USA game. I do this during the year. It's not like I sit here and watch every pitch of every Mets game, but I got it on, and then I'll have another game on, West Coast game on afterwards.
There are times where it depends what I'm doing and how busy I am, but there are times where I'll be watching like the Phillies on one TV, and I will literally have like 4 games up on my computer, and I'll have my phone set up with another game. Like it depends.
I can't do that.
Going on.
I
will do that stuff once in a while.
Well, my nephew back in the day when he's 22 now or 23, but when he was a little kid, he always wanted to come to my house for opening day weekend because that's the way I would have it set up at my house is games, and then me and him play video games on my main TV. Yeah, he would love it because all the baseball games are on, and he got to play Call of Duty because his mom wouldn't let him. But I just want to touch on next thing before we get way in the weeds on that. I see Amari has a question. This is some stuff we're going to talk about next week, Amari. Just let you know, Mike's going to be with me. Hopefully, Ed. I don't know if he'll be off or not. Maybe Dave, Midlife Card Crisis, Natsman, B. Roth, having a little roundtable discussion of preseason and tying in the preseason to the card world, card market. I did have a couple other people out there that I asked and didn't hear anything back. But that's who I have tentatively for next week, and hopefully it all works out. But yeah, I bounce back. I don't know, but I think there's a player that his realization and his card will probably go up, and you're going to go, oh, his card's already been going up, but I don't think it's still comparably speaking to other ones. He falls off so fast. I forgot. I think it's Shohei Ohtani. I think his realization in the hobby has yet to be met. What do you think about that? Do you think he is where he should be, comparatively speaking, to other players in the hobby? Because he kind of every year gets drowned out by whoever the next big thing is, and he's always better than them.
He seems like he's kind of hot right now in terms of people speculating on him. I think some people are sometimes hesitant because you have that fear of him pitching, and the opportunity for pitching and getting hurt is a little greater. But I mean, if you don't watch Shohei Ohtani, then I question whether you're a baseball fan. Listen, I get it. Everyone's busy. You can't watch every game. But and again, you brought up the whole West Coast thing. A lot of us aren't on the West Coast. That makes it a little more difficult. But if Ohtani's pitching in a big game and he's hitting, I always try my best to watch him a little bit. That guy is incredible. Like, in my opinion, if he does what he's done the last 2 years for like 3 more years, I see him as a Hall of Fame type of guy. I don't think he needs to have a 20-year career. If he has 5 dominant years doing 2 things and
that nobody's done before.
And what he's done in the World Baseball Classic, playing that is, I'm sure, I mean, besides the fact that Japan is a huge baseball country as is, I think his presence in it is fueling a lot of that interest. Like, and that's why, like, that's just my minor thoughts on like Hall of Fame stuff. Sometimes I think you have to factor in what guys do for the sport and for fan interest and stuff. That's why, to me, it's guys like Don Mattingly. I mean, Don Mattingly, or you can name off like 50 Hall of Famers. It's like Don Mattingly is a Hall of Fame baseball player. Did he end up with Hall of Fame numbers, Hall of Fame career? I guess that's debatable, but sometimes what he did helping introduce a generation and hook a generation, you know, on baseball, I think that counts for something. So I don't know. Ohtani's awesome. I think he is. Yes. If you're looking in terms of speculation type of stuff, like, I think he has a lot of room to grow. I mean, obviously he has really expensive cards as well, but his stuff seems to go up, go down a little bit, but he still has a lot of really affordable rookies. I just
It's like
it's just a damn shame. It's just a damn shame.
If you're going to buy him, you better buy him now. That's what I think.
So, if he ends up in a big market on the East Coast, the sky's the limit there.
And that's very. I have a funny feeling. I know an owner that I might root for that's willing to
do anything,
pay the price, and pay whatever price that it brings to go over the limit. This one right here, I know it's not a question, it's a remark by Fernando, which I think this would be a great series. Their first game, Mexico took them to the woodshed, and I would love to see a rematch of that. I think USA was playing in mud. I'm not trying to make excuses for them, and it looked like their bats were still tired. That Great Britain, they were trying to slow down their bats to hit. It just didn't. They did not look good. And I think it carried over to the Mexico game. And that guy that's a Brave, Menacee. I mean, he just didn't hit that game. He's hit this whole series. That's a guy to watch when the season starts, I think. But he's just 30-year-old major leaguer now. His cards ain't gonna be worth nothing, but I think it'll be fun to watch. But Fernando, I think the betterment of the game would be a Japanese USA final, so USA fans can see how real Japanese baseball is, and we need to start getting some of these players over here, maybe a little earlier than we are. I know it's tough because I think their rights get taken by the professional teams while they're in high school. I was reading something on it's very confusing and convoluted in how it's done, so it's kind of hard to get those guys like straight from high school, like the Latin players are. But yeah, I think Japanese baseball now is really come along. I'm not going to say comparably speaking, not across the board to U.S. baseball, but they're no longer slap hitting, low power. These guys get hit. They play the field better than we do. The pitch is not as good as ours, but they have pitchers that are as good as ours. So I think the betterment of the game would be Japan, United States. What's your take on that, Mike?
I mean, I think that would be huge for ratings wise, because I think if the U.S. isn't in it, I don't know how good the U.S. ratings are going to be for the World Baseball Classic. Japan's going to watch regardless.
Right.
I think they're probably the two biggest countries for baseball, at least in terms of professional leagues. I know South Korea has their league going and such, but obviously I don't know. It's hard to say. I guess it's still most players playing in the major leagues are from the United States, even though obviously it's a lot of foreign talent. And then the Japanese league, same thing. I agree with you, but Mexico's pretty damn good. Their team is really, really good. Cuba, I think they've been on a great run, but I think they are a distant fourth team of these final four teams remaining.
Well, they said this is the biggest spread, I think, of since the baseball classic started is this game tonight. But that's not good because it seems like when US sees those numbers, they come out flat. But they're playing ball tonight. We miss you too, Nats, man. I saw your messages a few minutes ago. Thank you for letting me know that. Trey Turner, my biggest this is something I heard at a Chantilly show 3-4 years ago before the COVID. I went to a Chantilly show. I was collecting Trey Turner. I like Trey Turner when he first came over.
I'm sure this is another guy you've ditched the PC of.
I did. I have got rid of all his stuff. But this guy had two nice autos for like $40. One was $30, one was $40. And he goes, "Well, I really got those in there for the kids. He's a kid's favorite." And I just looked at him and I went, "This guy's like one of the better shortstops in the game, and right now, arguably, he might be." I mean, they moved Tim Anderson over to second base for this series for him. He might be arguably the best shortstop in baseball right now, for all tools. And let me tell you, taking Jeff McNeil out and putting Tim Anderson at second makes our manager a real manager because McNeil totally buried us in that Mexican series against Mexico. He did. He's an average at best fielder. He should be a third baseman. I just want to put that out there as a Mets fan. But yeah, Trey Turner, I just think it's so. He's hit 3 home runs, and you still don't really hear much about him. He's going to right now. He should be our MVP. But who do they put up on the board? Who's on all the pictures and everything is Trout. He's had one home
Trout. I will say, Trout seems like he's having a lot of fun. I see him first out of the dugout. I definitely have had the thought once or twice, like, is he gonna? And I'm not saying this is the way he is, but this is the way I hear people talk about him. Like he's content with losing. He doesn't really care about winning.
He wants out.
And I watch this and I'm like, do you think he's sitting there questioning why in God's name did I re-sign for a dozen years with the Angels?
Well, he's sitting there on that bench going, my God, I know I play with Shohei, but that's it. After that, it's like, can we get Mikolas? Can we get one? I mean, don't have the greatest pitching. USA, that's the biggest problem with the WBC is teams don't want to give up.
The pitching is
and they got
questionable at best.
Tonight, if you don't know, all the pitchers, they used 6 pitchers last night. So none of those 6 pitchers are available for tonight. Even if they pitched 1 inning with 10, I think pitchers like Devin Williams, the team said they cannot pitch back-to-back nights. So they have 2 relief pitchers and 2 starting pitchers that are available outside of Wainwright. I think Mikolas is going to come in for the some innings here in a minute, eat up some innings because they wanted Wainwright to go 80 pitches or whatever tonight, but he's an old man. Let's give him some credit. he's trying tonight. He tried against Great Britain and didn't look the greatest.
Give him credit for getting out of that first inning, though. That could have been.
Yeah, what tonight? Yeah,
that could have been.
And no balls went past second base.
Yeah,
I mean the line.
But sometimes those innings that start off like that can just snowball real easy. It ends up taking one hard hit ball to the next thing you know, you're down 3, 4,
right.
5
And he
runs.
tried it. We wanted to turn 2 when I dribbled her up the middle to him, and that's why he missed it. Took his eye off of it. Yeah, Turner, Arenado, Goldschmidt, those two guys in a hobby, no love. Arenado, you can just pencil him in, the preseason Gold Glover every year. Goldschmidt, he's in the top, talk of MVP, Gold Glove, best first basemen in the league. And that's a stacked line. I mean, when I heard, I was so happy Pete was named for this team because Pete really wanted to play on this. I think the story is he got cut off of the USA team, the 18U one. And so he really wanted to play for Team USA. And then I saw Goldschmidt was playing. And I was like, well, thanks, Pete. You're on the team. You knew he was going to DH because Goldschmidt's so good at the bag. I wish this is Trout's playoffs and World Series. He won't sniff in an Angels uniform, and that's a great point, James. That's a great point. And James, thank you. I'll be showing off your care package this Wednesday. Awesome. I thank you very much, sir. One of the great men in this hobby. Him and his partner. She's great too. If you ever get a chance to meet her, she's awesome. Just great couple, great people. Anyway, so I went to a show yesterday, Greensboro. Drove up, terrible parking, was already.
You've had a lot of luck at your recent shows.
Yeah, I was already in, oh no, here we go again. So I park, it's in the back, way in the back. I don't mind walking as a big guy. I don't walk fast, but I can walk. I don't get tired very easily. I can walk all day, every day. We just scored another run.
Nolan Arenado.
Yeah, with a triple. They got to score, though, because Cuba can put it up there, too. That's one thing. They got bats. Everywhere else there. But anyway, so I get to the show, I walked the country mile to it. Went and used the bathroom, come out, and went in, $5. That's pretty standard going into these shows. They claim it's 150 tables. I walk in, there's people everywhere, but there's walking space. There is.
So it's less busy than the Philly show.
Yeah.
But packed.
Well, I bet you, Mike, there was at least 8 feet in the aisle between side to side, maybe 10 feet.
It's a little more space than they give you in Philly.
And then in the middle, they had, the rows going back and forth. And then in the middle was a big space. And they just had a couple of tables, very small tables in the middle. Looked like first-timers, guys with we need that Big Sky Car Show vlog, yeah. A lot of space, Mike. And they had a good turnout. We have 3 now major players in our area now doing card shows. And they're not just doing small card shows. They're not even the small ones. These are 3 major players that are 150 tables at least shows. Hey, Amish. You missed me talking about sandwiches earlier. I know I was stepping on toes, but I was talking about a good hot dog. But anyway, but I go in, a lot of space, but it was at least 50% Pokemon. Now they did.
That's a high percentage.
But they did present it as Pokemon toys and cards. It's a hobby show. Period. Yeah. It's not just sports cards. When they're called wax card promotions or something. So their promotion is more of a full hobby. So I wasn't surprised again. Uh, oh, you got darn James. Sorry to hear that, bud. You take you out of it, it just pulls you right back. I know you're feeling, man. I lived like that in Iowa for years. Uh, so again, not upset, but I get to a table, guys just got boxes and boxes of uh, PSA cards, boxes labeled great, baseball nines, baseball tens, football nines, and so on and so forth. So I start looking in the nines. Nothing is graded. We just scored the pass ball. Nothing's graded. Or nothing's graded. Nothing is priced. So I pull out four cards, or this stack right here, cards. This stack of cards. Nothing huge. Um, just got like some rookies. Bobby Witt, current rookie. Soto Gallery rookie. I never saw that card before. I thought that was interesting.
What's that, museum collection?
Yeah, momentum. No, tops on demand.
No.
Momentum rising. So I thought that, and you know how I am. I'm always looking at that stuff, and then I just really like this optic red with the red. So really, really enjoy this. But I had to sit there. He had to look up the price of every one of these, all the comps. So I stood over there. Then he called me over because the guy I handed him to couldn't do it. And the other guy with all the gold chains, the bro dude, had to look up all the ones. He gave me a price. We went back and forth. He took $10, $15 off, whatever. Threw in basically this card for free. I just saw as a Met first card. He doesn't even play. He's now with the Royals organization. But I love to hate collect players that used to be in our organization. First card autos. So if they turn out okay, I have it.
You're one of your guys, one of your old guys. I don't know if you're buying him. Your boy Kalenic, his stuff.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that next week. I have that one on.
People are buying his stuff.
Yeah, well, I said
what
it.
did I have? I had something. I had where I kept getting a ton of offers on it. One of his cards, and it was one of those things. There were so many offers that I was like, "Oh, this card's just going to sell. Like, I'm not going to accept an offer." That was
Amari's question. That's going to be probably my guy next week. Bounce back. At the end of last year, it looked like it all came together for him. He's in a lineup that he doesn't have to be the guy.
Yeah,
that Mariner team, the Astros better be watching out because I think the Mariners are going to have something this year.
It's unfortunate as a Phillies fan who had to face the Astros in the World Series. Seattle had a shot against them last year in the playoffs. So the Astros never lost the game in the postseason until they lost a couple in the World Series to the Phillies, but they pretty much theoretically sailed through. I mean, they destroyed the Yankees. The Yankees series wasn't really close.
Mariners had them in that game.
The Mariners won that first game. They should have won. Horrible managing, and they brought in Robbie Ray. I remember as soon as they brought him in, I remember thinking to myself, going, I should do a live bet because the Astros are going to win this game. 10 seconds later, Alvarez hit the home run. And then you had that 18-inning game. So the Mariners played Houston very, very closely.
This is on 100% yes on this one, James. I think everybody's jumping on that. Congratulations, Amari. Let us know how you did. You're going to be taking those to shows with you? Now this guy had nothing but PSA. I wanted to ask him how he got so many of it back so fast because I'm still waiting on cards from
1997.
I can't remember. Was 2022 July national last year? Still waiting on that stuff.
That's why I'm kind of out on them. I'll buy slabs, but I mean I'm doing a little PSA DNA, but that's a whole separate entity. They take too long with that too, but it's not nearly as bad.
Well,
I
sit
just
one
I don't
card in.
care if the value's higher or what. Like I'm sorry, I've had enough of that. Like
Well,
I don't
they
need
sit
to
there.
I don't need to wait 2 months for my cards to be logged, let alone months and
They
months to
make
get
up these
graded.
things like if you send in vintage, it takes so long for them to get it. They'll have to get that graded, and I'm just like, come on, man! It's not like they've never seen a vintage card,
No, it should be easier to grade.
right? I don't. What are you looking at? I don't understand. But I can understand if it's something you don't get very often, like some food or something card. But by now, PSA gets a lot of everything. I
They're
sent in
doing a
one
million
card.
cards a month. Like they should have plenty of. I
I sent
just
in one card and got it back within 6 weeks. Now, am I happy with that grade? Not really, but that's a story for another day. eBay probably got some Beatty parallels in the order. LOL. If you do, let me know. I have in my about page now. I have my contact stuff. So,
Oh, by the
that's
way, our SGC order will probably officially pop. I would think Monday, tomorrow.
all right. I'll text you after this to see if we got it
Uh, the, so part of the order may have already populated images. The other part not yet. So
yet. Okay.
there's probably spoilers available for the top stuff.
What is CSG stuff? You said that this week?
So they're like doing I don't know what they're doing something with their website. It's definitely the orders. I'm pretty sure done because it comes out final build, but it hasn't shipped.
Right.
So that might ship in a day or two as well. But it's
they're
not. I
weird
can't even
anyway.
click on it, so I can't even see what's in our order.
Right.
Like, obviously, I have a printout, but
it'll be like 2 weeks later sometimes until they send it out. They're not very consistent on that part of CSG. They'll bill you or whatever, say it's done, then I'll take. I said 2 weeks. That's being probably a little, but then it'll take a few days to get the pictures up, and then it'll be a few days before you get the tracking, and then a few days until they send mail it out. They're not very consistent with that. But I'll still take 6 weeks waiting for my cards over question mark. Like I've always said with PSA.
little PC action there.
It's not bad.
I mean, for $9, what the hell? Why not? That's what I should do. I should do a grading reveal right here. Just go one by one.
Well, I know somebody. JD, he'll take those because it's easier for him with his card hedger to show like where they're at. What he bought it at, what it's at now. Showing on his charts and graphs. He's a very great layout on how he does that using SGC's thing here. It's awesome. Yeah,
So
Mario.
you got CSG stole the PSA grading scale. PSA stole the SGC imaging thing.
Right.
SGC trendsetters in the hobby.
Well, they all do that in everything.
Of course.
If it works, everybody else is going to copy.
But that's why you need the competition. And that's why it'd be really nice if we had more competition between card manufacturers.
Could be that. That's a all night.
That ain't happening anytime in the next 4 decades. So,
well, that's one of those things where like, can you do a petition and send it to the FCC just to see, is there a monopoly there? Is that something that can be looked at? Because I'd like to know what's going on right now. They're not being too transparent. I don't know if Fanatics is letting Topps just run Topps right now, or if Fanatics' hand is in it, what their plans are. I know we're just talking about baseball cards or cards in general, but can we get some idea of what the future holds or what their plans are on when stuff's coming out, how it's going to come out? That's all I'm asking. I'm not asking them to change the world uh, on this. I really don't. But back to my little thing. So I want to get Mike laughing. I want if y'all know my man Ed Weskergriff, he did a video. What year was it before or after the shutdowns about the guys with the cases and etiquette, show etiquette.
His Pelican boys,
Yeah,
his favorite guys.
yeah. Well, he needs to do another one, and because my God, that my number one pet peeve is if you're just standing there while somebody else is looking at the car cases, and you're standing in front of the other cases, and I can't get to it. Get the hell out of my way. Go get
Yeah, that's
behind
gonna
me.
say get that shit off the case. I can't stand when they slam. First of all, if I were set up at a card show,
yes,
and those sometimes they rent them, so they probably don't care. Other guys like they own them. Those display cases are not cheap.
No,
you certainly don't want the glass scratched up. In time, light little scratch is gonna happen. I'd be like, dude, right now you want to make a deal? $25 right now because you just slammed your goddamn case on my display case.
Right. Well,
and
I do like
another $25. You just possibly taking away business because your shit's in the way and you're annoying.
Right. And I want people to be prepared when they go up to talk to somebody for information. To make it quick. Don't sit there and have a conversation.
Yeah, if there's no one around, if it's a dead period and you just having a chat, that's cool. But if there's people around, like stop wasting people's time.
That guy had a 5-minute conversation and said, "Long story short," or "I went too late." He walked off. I mean, it was like both of them just looking at me like, "What?" I was like. But then another guy's trying to explain to a dealer he wants to sell his stuff. He has over 1 million cards, but he has a mint collection. I don't know what that means. He has a mint collection. I was like, so is it like Christmas mints or are they the green mints?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say if you say you have a mint collection, you probably don't know anything about cards or the hobbies. So I'm guessing he's got a lot of 1987 tops with banged up corners. That's my guess.
So the guy goes, so is it a lot of 85 to 95? And the guy thought he was like the guy was like excited for that decade. And the guy was like, well, I have early 80s as well. And he goes like, 1980? He goes, yeah. He goes, I got packs. And he goes, so you have 1980 unopened packs? And he went, well, yeah. Well, then you know he didn't at that point. I just walked off laughing. This guy had no clue. He didn't have anything with him. He was just standing there drinking a cup of coffee. Nothing in his hands. I like going and listening to those stories, but it was a fun show. I'm glad I went. I had fun there. I picked up a couple of. They did have a lot of pops there. I picked up a couple Star Wars pops. Yeah, at the James at the National. Yeah, those Pelican cases they'll knock the crap out of you. You almost need to wear a cup through there. So many live going on there. Yeah, Lou Rod. Well, we want to discuss it. It's not much of a game anymore, but I still want to watch it. But anyway, man, I just need to stop. I'm not going to that one Tidewater Productions or something like that. If you see that, be worried. I'm not telling you not to go, but just
don't go.
Be prepared for some slime ball actions going on. Very tight corners, trying to wedge as many tables in as possible. I just that drives me crazy too. And the other two seem to be pretty good promoters. I need a briefcase for all the fire I'm buying in Chicago. I hear you, Dave. You showed off some fire. You get some more Whitey Herzog 5 stars going, and we'll be all right. Yeah, you're right. That at the beginning with all those dribblers, but kind of putting it. Nicholas is in now. He looks like he's throwing pretty well.
I just watched Dave's most recent video earlier today. I can't remember if I commented on it or not, but
I did because it
sweet
had
sweet
travel.
Alan Trammell Topps Chrome Black. I like Topps Chrome Black. That's an underrated product. I don't know if that'll be back, but like it's another one of those, like most products. It's really not worth breaking at all, but the singles are super sweet.
Well, this is what I don't understand, Mike. They still have the boxes on their tops.com for $150.
Yeah,
And I could go
I
to
feel like the
Blowout
market
right
price
now.
is a little cheaper, right? What is it?
Yeah, I can go to
120?
Blowout and get it for $135. I bought it at my card shop. The box
I
I
didn't
bought
buy
for
any of
one.
this. I actually have a few boxes of last year's still that I was going to open with my dad. I think I was last season, and then it was like, oh, maybe on Christmas, and like they're just still sitting there. I kind of don't want to open them because I know inevitably there's probably like an $8 Joey Gallo autograph in there or something. But
Maury, I like an Inception too, but Inception's that product where people try to there's autographs, people try to jack the price up on them, and I think that I'd much rather have was it a 5-star one, tier one, uh, was it Dynasty, any of those before I would Inception.
I like the Inception base cards. It's not worth opening for
Yeah.
the base.
So
but
these make that black autos. You can get them good price.
I was gonna say $20 isn't bad because the box, like you said, will cost you $135. You get one autograph and like literally 4 or 5 base cards. Like
right. But
and Trammell's a freaking Hall of Famer at $20.
So I'm at the show. I see a Pete Alonso base. I didn't ask how much it was. Same guy, didn't have anything priced. But as I'm coming out of the show, I get an eBay alert telling me there's a black blue for $70. And I'm like, well, right. I mean, again, that's $50 less than the box is at the best price. So give me this MikeO sales cards. Tuesday night, catch MikeO on the MikeO sale. Also catch him, I can tell you firsthand, you don't check out his he's another one with like, let's see, with Triple Crown and our boy I can't think of, I'm going blank on his name, that does one of the tuxes and everything else showings. MikeO's eBay store is loaded with your cheap cards.
21,000 cards on there right now. 21,000 listings. Well on my way to 25. That's got a lot to go.
Did I just get those from you? Did I just get that?
I don't know. I'm waiting for some hopefully positive feedback. We'll see though.
Oh, I haven't gave you any positive feedback? Yeah, so I just got my stuff in from you, along with this bad boy right here. Yeah.
Nice little card for the collection.
I've gotten some Pete's. I've started with more Pete's and David Wrights. So refocus, and
super collecting a backup first baseman. That's what you should have done at the show. You should be like, yeah, I'll give you $10 for this card. This guy's a freaking backup. Can't even crack the starting lineup.
The backup DH too, because it seems like Schwarber's the DH.
I will say too, you would think, especially with the current ownership, him being kind of like the face of the Mets in terms of the offensive players, like I find it hard to believe he's not going to end up getting himself a long-term contract there. I know he's a little older and such, but the owner does not give a shit about money.
Well, what did he just sign a 4-year, right? Right at the end or beginning of last year. They did because they said he didn't have to win the
home run derby anymore.
Yeah, to make $1 million.
He won it again, right? Or did Soto win it? Soto won it.
Soto won it.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
yeah,
I
think
forgot. The Wesker Griff portfolio got a boost from that. I forgot about that.
Well, when I bought those sodas, I was thinking about it. I was like, yeah, hey, he hit that frozen rope last night too in the game that helped him out. The loop single. Yeah, and also I have the so the Tops is coming out with the cards. Who knows when they'll come out because I got to get
Did
all.
that sale end? I didn't end up ordering any.
I don't know. Has it?
I know they've done the Tops Now cards, and I was gonna order a Schwarber. He had a home run one day just for the heck of it. And I didn't order it, and there were some pre-sales listed on eBay, and I was gonna buy one, and I forgot, right? And then the pre-sales ended, and then everyone jacked their Schwarber Tops Now cards up to $35 a piece. I was like, "What are you kidding me?"
Well, Luis Araz has one right now. Kyle Tucker has one right now. Trey Turner has a Tops Now.
Yeah, Turner has one. I saw from today. He had relics too.
Oh, they finally got on the road. Finally released. You know the Tops Now ones.
Yeah.
The opening day.
They cut it down though. It used to be more cards in the set, and then they used to do autograph versions where there were three different players. There was an autograph version, but they come in packs now. It was $100 for a pack. You got one autograph and 8 base cards and some kind of parallel. They sold out really quickly, but there were less players in that too. But a lot of the big rookies were in it, so they sold out quick.
Man, oh my gosh. Yeah, you can't even get the Orioles. That's the first team I went to look at. I'll get the Mets. Man, that's $35 and you don't get all you get is the regular card.
Yeah,
they used to be 19.
Do you have an account though with Tops, right? You probably have the rewards.
Yeah, I got the rewards.
I was gonna say you easily get at least $20 off.
Yeah, I always save the rewards for like back in the day when you could go on and get one of the autographs.
Now they sell out like within 1 second.
Yeah, so let's see, what was I looking for?
Oh, Big Pete's at the plate. Oh boy, Pete Alonso.
Big Meat Pete.
He will not get to hit by pitch.
Did he?
Yeah. It looked like you got him in the jersey, though, so you can breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah, I just saw it.
Thankfully, it wasn't an Altuve situation.
Well, it's sold out. The World Baseball Classic cards sold out.
Damn.
$30.
I should have ordered a box. I think I was going to. I think I was driving home from the Philly show that night, the day it released, and then I kind of, after a 15 or 16-hour day, forgot about it.
I remember one year they did a tribute box. You know how they got Topps tribute?
Yeah.
And they were really nice. Really pretty patches in it. So, well, Mike, I think we're going to call it a night. A little over an hour. That's more than I usually do. Just to let everybody know, to reiterate what's going to come up next week. I see Dave. Hopefully he's still on here. Dave, I don't know if I talked to you. I meant to. I don't know. I sent it out in a mass little thing about next Monday night. If you can make it 7 p.m. earlier than usual, so we'll probably go over an hour. And I want to give us plenty of time because we also have our draft that night for fantasy baseball for the ones that have paid for their entry fee already. So it'll be 7 o'clock. It'll be a baseball preview. We'll have I'm hoping Ed can join us as well. I know he said he was going to try to move things around, get off work that night. I don't know how successful he was. I don't want to take any money out the man's pocket. So if he has to work, he has to work.
But he should also probably get his priorities right. It's like put food on the table or have the honor, the distinct privilege of being on Big Scott 35's channel.
That's right. That's right.
I don't know, man.
And then Brian B. Roth, Card Soup, get his perspective of somebody, what he's looking for, as well as he knows the game, and also what he's looking for as a person that sets up at shows, what he's really doing. Okay, Dave, be great. So we'll talk about that, and we'll throw. I'm going to throw in some curveballs. In this one, I actually set up like a bullet list, and even send it to the guys so they can look up things if they want to get a little start. Yeah, for a little prep. So a little different this time, and that'll be before the season starts. And first time that I'm announcing this, I've teased it. The first Monday after the first weekend of the season, so that first Monday in April, every Monday, me and my dad will be doing a little show just about baseball, no cards, uh, reviewing the week and whatever else of any baseball. Me and him have been also talking about getting some people trying to just hit up. My dad used to do radio, so he knows how to contact people and stuff like that to get them on. Nobody huge, of course, because nobody's going to come on a channel with 6 people. But you know, maybe some owners of some minor leaguers and stuff like minor league teams get some insight on the minors. So that is something that we're looking forward to. Just 2 guys that know nothing but try to solve the problems of the world, and have fun doing it. So until next time, like, share, tell a friend, uh, subscribe if you haven't. I've had a couple of subscribers. I want to thank Carlos once again for letting me participate in his show on Friday night. I've actually made some good contacts out of that. Some great people that watch his channel have reached out to me through my Instagram. And like I said, I am my about page on my YouTube channel. I do have all my links and things there for you to contact me. So until next time, see ya.